Magical Garden, Reaching for the Stars. Guys, I'm taking some time to come through because I am spending some time with some family, but I definitely wanted to come by and share some of the good news with you. As you have known, and forgive the nails, child, it's been a while since I got my nails done, and I tell you, she doesn't know how to act. We're not gonna let that stop us, right? I first want to say thank you to each and every one of you for really supporting my channel. As of late, I noticed that my views has been going up, so I just want to say thank you to each and every one of you. I am okay. We're not gonna cry. Excuse me. I'm a little overwhelmed because it just feels really good when you take the initiative to stand up for the things that you believe in and share the things that you believe in. It to see the love and like-minded people come about is always a beautiful thing. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And be sure to check out my blog at Elizabeth Magical Garden, as well as my podcast that goes live every single Thursday. We are at 100 and, dare I say, 51. So excited about that, but that's enough of the commercial for now. Today's topic is the rainbow. I actually was reading and studying. The topic of the rainbow came out because, for those who don't know, there was a flood and Noah created a beautiful big boat that was orchestrated by God. It told him how big to build it, how wide, how tall, and to receive all the creatures that walked the earth and flew over the sky as well, right, in pairs, right? So they stood in this boat, him and his family, him and his sons and their wives as well, with all the livestock there was that walked the face of the earth before there was a big flood, that the heavens opened up and poured out water which flooded the whole earth. Oh, like everything under the boat and over the boat, because the boat rose even over mountains. And you might be saying, like, girl, this story is negative, but hold on. So I find it to be very fascinating. It's just so crazy because when I was just to pause the story for a minute, when I was a young girl, I was raised Catholic, and I did go to theology school, if that makes any sense. For me, it was Saturday school. I didn't go to Catholic school, but I did go to Saturday school, and we read about these topics, and I knew about these topics growing up, right? But it hit different now for so many different reasons, right? And of course, the age, right? So going back to the story, everything got flooded out, and Noah was already up there. I believe he was like 300 or almost 600 years old or something like that. Just follow me, guys, just follow me. So then this big flood came, and he was able to sustain his whole family. Such a beautiful story. He was able to sustain his whole family along with the livestock and everything going forward, right? And once the flood was done, there was this beautiful, he sent a dove, a bird, I'm gonna say a dove, out to see if there was land. And one day the dove came with a plant. I believe it was an olive plant. He came with a little branch, and it let them know that it was safe to start going out and to release the animals out into the world again, right? So they could procreate. But the key component is God's promise, because he promised never to flood the earth ever again. As long as there's day, as long as there's night, as long as there's winter, spring, summer, fall, he will never flood the earth ever again. That is his covenant, that is his promise. And the rainbow is a sign of his promise. Every time you see a rainbow, you are reminded of God's promise to you, right? And I found that to be so profound, because a lot of times we get bowed down. A lot of times we say, how can we get out of the situations that we find ourselves in? How can we have hope? How can we hold on to hope? Because as we know, the world is in, I don't mean to be negative, but turmoil. There's so many things going on, but yet there is still light. There's light right now. Like right now, I mean, it's a little gloomy outside, but you know what I'm saying? We working with it. We working with what we have. And oh, by the way, if you hear a little noise, that's my washing machine, because I'm currently washing clothes. Okay. So the rainbow just brings so much comfort, in my humble opinion. It just resonated with me in so many different ways. You know, whether you have dreams, whether you have aspirations, whether you're going through something that is scary, and scary good even. When you think about the promise that God has for your life, it just brings you back into a space of being safe, a place of reassurance, a place of courage. Because think about it, it's not about what people say, it's about what the Creator God says for your life. You can literally do any single thing that you choose to do, as long as you believe in the covenant that you have within yourself and you have within God, because God is within you. He made us in the likeness of his self. He breathed life into our nostrils, and he gave us, right? He gave us the sovereignty of his spirit, his likeness. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but you know what I'm saying. He gave us the spirit of wholeness, the wholeness of within himself. Now, we can go into a lot of other things, how we, through time, that separation had taken place, and then then the Son of Jesus Christ had came down and suffered all of that. Right now, regardless of what you believe in, know this, that God, the creator of all, you're part of that. You're part of that entity. You're part of that energy. And I just think that is such a beautiful thing, to be able to look up to the sky on a rainy day, regardless of where you are, regardless of what your situation is, to be reminded of something like that, to be reminded of his sovereign word, to be reminded that he loves you and he will never forsake you. That, my friends, is a beautiful, beautiful topic to be had. And I just want to come by and share that good news with you guys, because it has helped me out in so many different ways. And being reminded of something as beautiful, I feel like I'm getting emotional. To be reminded of something so beautiful and special as God keeping his promise to us brings me so much relief, brings me so much courage, and it just pushes me to do better, pushes me to expect more in my life, right? Because we can get to a point of our time in our lives where, you know, these promises seems to be far and from, especially as we start to get older. As you know, I have disclosed that I just recently turned 50, not so long ago in June, and my birthday, although very quiet, was very special. I mean, to be honest, I would think every birthday is special because you got to be blessed to get to the next level, right? But I entered this particular transition in my life because 50 is a milestone. What they call it, the golden age, right? And to be blessed, to be healthy in my body, to be in my right frame of mind, guys, 2019 was a very hard year for me, and things were bleak. I couldn't see my nose despite my face, okay? And I showed up, I pushed through, but it was not an easy year for me. And I would say even for 2019, then 2020 hit. I'm gonna leave that right there. But through all of that, God kept his promise through the darkness and the pain that I was in, that I was suffering mentally. I knew. It's so funny that that went off as I'm speaking, right? Just saying means, you know, what they say, anytime you hear a bell or a ring, that means that the angels are there with you, right? It's a good sign. It's a good omen. If you believe in something like that, I do. To be going through such a dark and heavy time with the things that I was dealing with mentally, I was struggling, guys. I was struggling. But what brought me joy and what brought me hope was the promise of love and of God, that light that shines still in the dark in my heart. I have been, as we all have been, through ups and downs and all arounds, but I am here to tell you, hold on to that light tunnel. That light tunnel is there, honey. It's there to shine through. It's there to grab you. It's there to pull you through the darkness so you can see the power and the grace of God. Do not let go. I don't know who I'm speaking to, but I know I'm speaking to somebody. Do not let go. Do not give up hope. Forget what they're saying to you. Forget what you're saying too. If it's negative, forget that too, because that's an energy. And a lot of times, from what I'm realizing, and I'm still learning as I stand here or as I sit here today, usually when that energy is coming towards you, it's because it's trying to pull you from something that you have something coming that is already waiting for you. It's pulling you from your power. It's pulling you from your glory. It's pulling you from the understanding that God has you and has the path leading you through. Do not let go. It's easy. It may even feel better. You know, you have so many different things that can take and impose distractions. You know, we have these phones, we have the, you know, Instagram and all these other different apps. There's another thing, I don't know, somebody told me about it. I don't, leave a comment down below. It's some other thing. I don't even, child, I done lost, you know, to the point where I can't. Mentally, it's too much for me. All these different things. And that's another thing I want to share with you guys. Allowing, although that God has made this promise, that's this covenant for you and I, if you do not create space to receive and to understand that promise, you will feel lost. You will feel lonely. You will feel disconnected. And sometimes you have to disconnect to get connected. You understand what I'm saying? I'm about to say, you feel me? Okay, guys, you know, she is who she is. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you have to disconnect to get connected. I, for one, have, it was in March. And this is before, this is so funny. This is before my back injury. Something came over me where I just felt to the point I want to say overwhelmed, but I just felt like I wasn't me. I wasn't feeling good inside of me. And something had to go. I felt like my plate was too full and I had to make some executive decisions. So I decided to take some time off of Instagram. What started off with a week came into a couple of months, and to be honest, I'm still not vocal on most of those platforms, and other than, of course, my YouTube channel, of course, my particular platforms, YouTube, podcast, and my blog, because I was pushed. And I felt like I had to do that to give space for something else. And I didn't know it was going to be because God wanted to feed me in other ways. And I'm still coming to terms with that. I did not know. I just knew that I had to take something off my plate. So I share this personal revelation with you guys because I believe there's somebody out there going through the same things. I have the same thing. I have already disclosed to you in so many times where it's like I feel the fire within me to share, because I always feel like if I'm going through it, or if I see it, somebody else seeing it too. I'm not the only one feeling like this. I'm not the only one going through. And that is just a testimony for yourself, because a lot of times you can be made to feel alone. You could be made to feel like you're the only one going through that divorce. You're the only one that's having postpartum depression. You could be the only one having anxiety. You could be the only one in your circle going through menopause, right? Absolutely, positively not. Just because people are not, I want to say, brave or feel comfortable to, because it doesn't mean that you're not brave if you don't feel like sharing and disclosing. Everybody have their different walk, but just because people are not uttering a lot of things and they seem to be dealing with life on cruise control doesn't mean it is so. It doesn't mean that. And I don't believe that people have to show that they're going through so much stuff to make other people feel comfortable with themselves. So don't feel like you have to do that. But I'm just letting you know that just because you don't see it doesn't mean that it's not happening. So hold on to your faith, hold on to your belief systems, regardless of what it is, because I truly believe, and I am here to testify on that level, that God shows up in the way you need it. You know, my spiritual practice has changed so much in so many different ways, and I end up coming right back where I started. And this is just a testimony to say that a lot of times mentally, you need something else. Sometimes a lot of times what used to work before may not work today, and that's okay. That's okay to not have the same type of dialect that you had 20 years ago. But I could tell you this: God, once starts a good work in you, will always finish it. I don't care what is going on in your life. Once God has chosen you, once God has chosen and decided to work and manifest that good work in you, you could take as many highways to heaven. Oh my God, that used to be a show. Michael Landon, he passed away, but he was, leave a comment down below if you remember Highway to Heaven. You already know. Regardless of where you want to go, highway to heaven, up and down, all around, God will not stop doing or not finish the good work that he started in you, because God cannot go against his own promise. Once that covenant has been put forth, it will always come through in your life. And a lot of times, if not in yours, into your kids or your kids' kids. And how beautiful that is. So that is my message for you guys. So the next time you see a rainbow, I mean, if you want to think about me too, but most importantly, think about the promise that God made to us and the promise that God made in your lives, in our lives, I should say. So beautiful. Guys, I'm about to head out. As you heard, my washing machine stopped. So I'm going to finish on this beautiful, warm, but gloomy summer doing my laundry. But I just want to come by and share the good news with you guys. Stay in peace, stay in love, and stay in power. Peace.